Joining us right now on the topic of small business and what he's seeing is Cameron Mitchell. He's the founder and CEO of Cameron Mitchell Restaurants, which owns nearly 60 establishments across the United States. And Cameron, it's great to see you. It's been a while since we've spoken.
Good morning, Becky. It's a pleasure to be back with you today.
So the first time we talked to you was in the midst of the shutdown when all of your restaurants had been closed down. You laid out a plan for what you were hoping to see. The last time we talked to you, things were looking pretty good. Business was back and was booming. So what's happening right now?
Becky, the best way I can equate it to is we're in a hurricane, and the first landfall of the hurricane was back in March 15th, and it was as detrimental as it was and terrible as it was. We ended up getting the PPP money, and we were able to get out and get open, and it was a lifeline. We would not be here today if it wasn't for the original PPP loan. And June came, and sales were doing pretty good. We were about 75% of last year's sales. We're feeling very optimistic, and what I came to realize is we were really just in the eye of the storm. And then July, the beginning of July hit, and the case counts rising across the country, and metropolitan areas rolling back opening guidelines and further restrictions on our business, and sales fell down to now 50% of last year, and that is just not sustainable. So here we are today, August 2nd, and I feel just as nervous about the future as I did back in the beginning of March when coronavirus was coming over the horizon. So we're looking for a second round of PPP to help us get through the other side and help us sustain for the future. So, and the thing we're hearing mostly in Congress is about the stimulus checks and the unemployment, but there are thousands and thousands of businesses like ours out there in the country that are hurting terribly. At 50% decline, 40% decline in sales, we cannot survive. We're losing between $500,000 and $1 million a month, and we need the additional PPP dollars in a terrible way. And, the current proposal is for a $2 million cap on that, which last time was $10 million. And so for a company like ours and many others, that reduction of $8 million is when we need it the most is very difficult for us.
Cameron, is the decline in your business coming mostly because states or local municipalities have forced you to not open as much and to close things down, or how much of the decline is coming from people who are afraid to go out? How would you measure that, the difference?
Well, it's both. Clearly, when you have a reduction in capacity from municipality, example, Beverly Hills, we're closed. All restaurants in California closed for indoor dining. New York City, we were not allowed to open our restaurant. That was just for the patio. Philadelphia, we're not allowed to open. That got rolled back from August 1st now to September 1st. So some of our businesses are not even open yet. But the main driver of that reduction of sales is the increased case count with coronavirus around the country, and people becoming more and more nervous about going to restaurants, even though there's no science dates that says inherently restaurants' COVID case outbreaks have been driven by restaurant seating, indoor and outdoor seating.